Around the age, I'd say, of like 11, I got introduced to drugs, to alcohol, hard drugs, heroin, and meth, coke. I would say by the time I was 14, 15, I was a full-blown, addicted to opioids, heroin, and when I couldn't get my hands on that, it was other stuff.
I was 17 when I started heroin addiction. I was dabbling with pills around the same time, and my best friend at the time was a full-blown heroin addict, and I lost 2 family members back to back, both due to cancer, and I just couldn't get pills that day, and like it was just weighing me down. And
we were friends for about, I'd say, 6 months, and then after 6 months we got together, started dating, if you want to call it that, because at that time it was really just, it was codependency, man, is what it was. 3 years into that, our relationship, we ended up splitting up. She went her way, then I went mine. I continued to use, continued to just live a sexually immoral life.
A couple years into my addiction, I did end up in prison. I met my daughter's dad like a month after I came home from prison. And I remember like hearing like, don't be with him, he's really bad news. But like when you go through addiction for 8 years, like your self-esteem is gonzo. And he turned into a full-blown alcoholic, drinking a 30-pack a day. And I am pregnant at this time while this is happening. He's smoking weed, and trust me, if he didn't have one or the other, it was on me. I'd get beat for it, you know what I mean? So it was mental, physical, and emotional trauma from the very beginning. Like, if I'm being honest, that was worse to me than heroin addiction. Because at least that was under my control. I was hurting me. It wasn't somebody else that I couldn't stop, so.
I felt empty. I feel like I hit rock bottom so many times. I'm 26, like, there's gotta be something more out there.
I had no self-esteem, like I was done. I wanted to die. Like, even through heroin addiction, like being with him, I wanted to die because it was better than living. It made me feel better towards God because like, I'm like, wow, like why would, like, wasn't addiction enough? Like, are you punishing me?
I'll be honest too, I wanted to be dead. I didn't know what I was feeling. I didn't. I just knew that, like, I've used drugs, I've done this, I've done that, and whatever I'm feeling here is stronger than that. And like, to me, that was something.
Going to Lifeway, like I got rid of, he took so much from me, like the sermons, the transparency in the church, like seeing other people going through stuff and being able to bounce back. Like I knew I could do that too. I can have what they have. Everything she knows, he taught her. Like he is not her biological father, but just like my stepdad, he is the dad. Anybody can have a child, but to a man that chooses you, the want to raise another person's kid, like that takes a real man.
I never seen myself getting married, let alone having a kid. It's almost like God used her to get to me, to my heart.
Like Riley adores him, and all she wants is for him to adopt her, so we're gonna work towards that.
I'm just like, look, like I know that I probably shouldn't be living here, but like I am. We love one another, so like
So why aren't we getting married?
What do we do?
What are we waiting for?
And I remember what they said. We love you guys, and we will walk with you through it. I was expecting judgment. I was expecting to be shunned. I was expecting to be looked at like differently, and I got the exact opposite. A lot of our family comes to Lifeway. There's a lot of people who've seen that transformation, and my family has been rebuilt based because of him. Before Jesus came into my life, I was hopeless. I was alone. I was scared, and finding what I found with the church, and not just the church, but the people in it, I found hope. But that hope transformed into life. I've never had that.
God doesn't want the healthy. He came for the sick. It's so cool to see people who were in active addiction together, but are now living a life for God. Our God isn't the drug anymore. It's Him. It's the one that should be and will always be.
All of the background, the bad, the gang activity, the drugs, the sexual immorality, there's a way out, and I found it, and I want to give it away to people, give right what was freely given to you, and I do.